Let's get started with our activity for today. Once you have clicked onto the Microsoft Teams website, you should see this screen. Once done, click on Sign In, and you will need to sign in to your Microsoft email, which is your Pathlight email. Finish, click Next, and enter in your Microsoft password. Once done, click Sign In. You can decide whether you want to stay signed in, yes or no. In either case, you might see this pop up, so just click Use the web app. This will allow you to use Teams on your browser. Once done and everything has loaded, dismiss any notifications and click onto the Teams button on the left column. Look for your class IT Teams group. Click on it and go to the Files tab on the top of the Teams bar. Click onto your name and click onto the Spreadsheet Creation folder, and finally click onto Lesson 9 Shopping List, which is our activity for today. Before we get started, the next thing we're going to do is to expand our ribbon view. So to do this, click onto the down arrow under the Close button, and this will allow you to switch your ribbon to the full view. Now, let's start with our sandwich shopping list. Today, we are going to modify this and add in some items and costs that we will find on the NTUC website. To start off, let's convert some of our cost data to currency. So to do this, click on B4, drag all the way to B8, select B4 to B8, click onto the arrow down here, number format, and change to currency. Next, you will need to do the same for B10 all the way to B15. So click B10, drag to B15, go to number format, click currency. Once done, you should see that your 20 for budget has changed to $20. Now let's get started filling in our items and costs. So first, click onto the NTUC website link to get to NTUC website page. So this is how it should look like. There is a search bar that you can search for your sandwich products. So let's do the first one together. So for me, I find that every sandwich needs to have bread. So I'm going to type in bread and do a search for it. When you scroll down, you should see a few options for bread, and you can simply choose the one that you would like to add to your list. So I'm going to go with Gardenia Enriched White Bread. Cost is $2.40. So I'm going to enter this data into my Excel spreadsheet. So go back to Excel, type in the name of the product. Sometimes when you fill in the name of your data, you will find that it is too long and it spills outside the cell. So to solve this problem, you can actually go to the column header of your cell and pull the column line, stretch it such that you can fit the words into the cell. Once done, you can proceed on with the other information. Once you have entered in your first ingredient for your sandwich, continue the same process to add in 4 more. You don't have to follow mine, you can go and search for your own ingredients to add in. Once you have entered in all your sandwich ingredients, it's time to fill in our formulas and functions for the blue cells. So let's start with item count. Click onto B9 and click onto Insert. We are going to insert a function. So click onto the FX button and click onto the Count function. Click OK. And we're going to drag all the data value, which is B4, drag all the way to B8. So this is the function formula that you should have. Once done, click Enter. And this should show you the count of how many items you have found. So it should appear as 5. Next, let's move on to average item cost. Click onto B10 cell and go to Insert, Function, and look for the average function. Click OK. And same thing as earlier on, drag B4 all the way to B8. Press Enter. And this should reflect your average item cost. So this is the cost of each item when you take their total sum, divide by each of them. Now, let's move on to the most expensive item cost. When we're talking about most expensive, we are using the function max, which stands for maximum. So, click onto the cell B11, click on Insert, go to Function, and we're going to insert the max function, which stands for maximum value. OK. And same thing, drag the cells B4 all the way to B8. Make sure you see this function formula before you press Enter. Once done, you should see that your most expensive item cost should reflect the item in your list that has the most highest price. Now, cheapest item cost. For cheapest item, we are calculating the minimum. So we're going to insert the minimum function. Click onto the cell B12, click Insert, click Function, and click on Minimum. Click OK. And same thing, drag all your data values, B4 all the way to B8, press Enter. This should show you the cheapest item within your list. Once done, we are going to move on to B13 to calculate the total cost. So click on B13 cell, click Insert, click Function, and click on Sum to calculate the total sum of all your data values. Click OK and drag B4 all the way to B8. Once done, press Enter, and this should give you the total cost of all your sandwich ingredients. Now, we are going to calculate the difference as well. So this is actually a formula you need to type in, which involves budget minus total cost. So to do this, click onto the cell B15, which is your dark green cell, type equal, click onto your budget cell, which is B14, type minus, and click onto your total cost cell, which is B13. So we are doing a formula to find the difference between budget and cost. Once done, click Enter on your keyboard. And this should show you the difference between your budget and the cost. And if it shows a green number, this means that you are spending within your budget. Once done, this is the end for today's activity. Please close your work before you decide whether you want to sign out of Teams and do other activities.